Hi, so this one is part 2 of making the moccasin. So you should have had both sides done. Like I said, we're going to stop somewhere around where it starts curving. It doesn't have to be too exact, but close. And just the plain whip stitch both sides. So this is what your moccasin should look like at this point. Next, we're going to look for the marking on the back side. And while you can make a marking on the toe, it's usually pretty obviously where it comes to the point. So we just bring the point up to that part, and we're going to match them there and just hold it. At this point, we're going to put in 2 stitches in the same spot to anchor that little point down. So 1 and 2. So now we have just a stitch in here holding this piece together. So hopefully I can do this nice enough. I usually put the heel away from me and I have the toe pointed towards me. Here, this is the back piece, which is really big, and then this is the vamp at the top. At this point, I have the first stitch in holding this in place, and then I'm just going to grab some of the excess on the back or on the large piece, and I'm going to push it up to make our first little ruffle there. It's a little bit hard to see, but we make our first little ruffle. And actually, sometimes at this point, I will push the needle through one more time so that when I start the whip stitch, the whip stitch goes towards me, and I'm always pushing the needle through on my side of the leather. So I'm just holding that little ruffle in place, and I put the first stitch in to hold it. Next, I'm going to do one more straight stitch, and it's going to be the same distance, 1/4 inch away and about 1/4 inch depth. And this adds nice spacing to our little ruffles. Now I'm just going to make the next ruffle, so I'm just going to push it up against. Even my ruffle is approximately 1/4 inch in height. So it takes time and practice to continue doing that, but we're going to follow the same pattern. So I just did my ruffle. I am going to do a straight stitch without any ruffling of the material, and then the next one I'm going to do the ruffles. So we just work our way from the middle down each side. And here. But the speed of how fast you get this done and how it looks is all on experience. So your first pair are probably not, exactly how you wish them to look. Some of you guys are skilled sewers and you can do this really well on your first try also. It took me enough pairs to figure out how to do this nicely and to be as uniform as possible while I was making these. Lots of trial and error, because when I first started making these, someone just gave me a pattern and I just kind of winged it. And then I figured out all the different methods of making them look a lot nicer, how to space them properly. But that's life sometimes. We don't always have somebody teach us how to do everything, and gotta take a little bit of a risk and just try it and try and figure it out. So I'm just going to continue on to the end of this one, and then I'll make the next recording.